Hi, I'm Mike Butler, National Sales Manager at Spartan RV Chassis. We're here today at Entegra. We want to do a couple videos for you so we can help you understand what's new on model year 2021 with the different models. We thought because we're the chassis manufacturer that we would start at the chassis and just show you some things on why Spartan, why we do what we do and why we're the premium chassis in the industry. I want to start here at the front of the chassis and show you our suspension. So every suspension that we build is for our customer, the OEM, and we're going to match what they want from a weight standpoint. We're going to match ride quality. We're going to do rides after the coach is built to make sure that we've got that tuned in. One of the things of the suspension is the Bilstein shock. So that Bilstein shock is a gas shock. It's custom designed for our suspension. We do it in-house with the help of Bilstein Engineering. And it's a gas shock. So what's nice about that shock is whether you're going 10 miles or 400 miles in a day, you're going to have the same ride quality in that shock. You're not going to have any shock fade because it's a gas shock. Something else while we're up here at the front of the chassis I'll talk about are our lanyards. These lanyards are manual ejectors to make sure that you do not have any water in your tanks. We have automatic ejectors on the tanks, but this is just a nice way, again, before you take a trip, if you're taking a long trip or you've been sitting for a while, you want to make sure we get all that moisture out of those tanks. As we work around the chassis, I'll point out a couple different things here. I'll point out these wire harnesses. So these wire harnesses, we use a heavier gauge wire. We also color code all of our wires. We label them with a number and a little brief description. So in any case, if something's going wrong with your coach and it needs to be troubleshot, that's an easy way to get in, check it, get you back on the road and get it fixed. We do the same thing with our air lines. All of our different lines are color coded in that way. Something else we'll talk about here is the frame. So depending on the make and the model, we use a thicker gauge steel on the frame, and then we also use additional cross members. We'll talk more about warranty later, but we have a 20-year frame and cross member warranty on our chassis, and that is transferable because we care about you as the customer, and we want to make sure that you get from point A to point B safe and secure and don't have any issues in your coach. As we work back the coach, we'll get into more specifics with the tag axle in the different models, but here we just want to talk in generally what we're doing here at Entegra. So you have your DEF system. Depending on the make and model, you're going to have a 10-gallon tank or a 15-gallon tank. But really what I want to look at right now is this onboard service center. So really excited about this. We changed this year for Entegra in all their models. Before, if you've had an Entegra before, the batteries were high, and what we've done is we've dropped those. We want to listen to our customers. It was hard to get into those batteries if they needed to be changed or serviced. So now we've made that very accessible. The fuse panel, we've moved that up. So you can see just kind of swapped everything, made it a little easier to get to. Something else, the reason we call it an onboard service center, we want to make sure that you're maintaining your chassis and doing it in the intervals that Spartan would tell you to do those. And one thing that I want to point out is the air dryer. So we put this here on the side because we want you to check your air dryer on a regular basis, and if it does need to be changed, be able to change it yourself instead of having to schedule a service appointment. Also, you have your fuel and water separator here, so you can check that on a regular basis as well. Just some simple things that you can check before you take a trip. As we work around to the back, there's a couple things, a lot of stuff we could point out, but there's a couple things that I'd like to point out that we just do different than the competition would be. One is the safe haul. So this is going to be your air system for your towed vehicle. You do have to have the system set up on your car. There's several different air systems out there. We would recommend at Spartan RV Chassis, we would recommend that you use the Demco Air Force One system, but it plugs right into that air fitting. You're going to have brakes on your towed vehicle. Something else that I'd like to point out here too, in 2021, Entegra went to the digital dash on all their units, and so here you can also add the tire pressure monitoring system to your towed vehicle, and it will read in on the dash. This is the model year 2021 Aspire built by Entegra. Let's go inside and look at the new steering wheel features and also the new digital dash this year. All right, we're sitting here now in the model year 2021 Aspire by Entegra, and I want to run through some of the new features for this new model year. So you do have the hands-free pickup and hang-up features for your phone, so now you do not have to mess with your cell phone. You can keep your eyes on the road and keep your hands on the steering wheel. Another nice new feature is we got away from the analog gauges and went to a digital dash, 12.3 inch screen. So you have everything nice laid out in front of you. Entegra gets to design that screen with Spartan and Valid and put their own touches on that screen, so it's pretty cool. Another new feature this year is also the power tilt and telescope on the steering column. So you can literally go up and down with it, and then of course adjust it to where you want it. That's a nice new feature from being manual last year. And then last but not least, along with the digital dash, you have the tire pressure monitoring system. That's all reads on the digital dash. And then of course you have the little controller over here. It's push button and then turn knob, so you can control and scroll through all the different settings on your digital dash. In closing, we want you to know that at Spartan RV Chassis, we're committed to you as the customer. We have several things in place to help you while you're on your road and out traveling the United States and Canada. We have an app that you can download for your phone, Spartan Connected Care. On that app, you're going to have lots of things. You can register your coach. It's going to help give us information that we need to know when you call us. But it's also going to give you phone numbers, people to call. It's going to talk about our service centers. We have 380 plus service centers across the U.S. that are there ready to help you. We have our 24/7 hotline that you can call in. We'll help you find a service center, or you can look on our app for service centers. But we always want to be there every step of the way to help you. And then last but not least is our Spartan Academies. If you're a first-time motorhome buyer and you're like, man, I don't know anything about this diesel chassis, we have some Spartan Academies. They sell out quick, so you want to get online and get signed up. But you can sign up. It's a 3-day course. It's going to help you understand your chassis and the maintenance intervals. It's a great class. People love it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to give us a call with any questions.